She's like the best video ever.
This is great.
We got 25 minutes. We got to go.
Hey. I don't know where Winston just went. There he goes.
Did you? I don't know what just happened there.
No, me neither.
Okay.
But I'm excited to be here, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Absolutely.
It's another Wednesday with us here at Say That channel. We're really excited to have you with us. If this is the first time that you've ever visited our channel, please go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. We want to make sure that we shout you out. And if you end up loving what you see, make sure you hit that subscription bell, hit the subscribe, hit the subscribe, then the notification bell, so that way you don't miss a notification. All because this helps our algorithm loop us into more people, so that way they understand that we're providing value that people want, and that helps us because the more subscribers we have, the bigger the guests we can get, all of those things. It's like a win-win situation. So why are you here?
Absolutely.
You are here probably because you're an entrepreneur. And we here at Say That channel are unapologetic about talking about the ugly come up of entrepreneurship and small business ownership. And what do I mean by that? You know how you hear those stories of people who've gone from nothing to having massive success, but it's like, what happens in the middle? What happens during the ugly come up? Well, that is what we're here to talk about. And today is going to be a great day where we have 25 minutes to talk about a topic. It's what we do all the time. We know you all have a low attention span, so we're going to keep it tight. I'm coming off of a trip.
I just want to talk there. I was just about to say this is Janelle coming off of a cruise, and therefore I think she's coming in a little hot. But yeah, let's jump into it today, guys. The question for the day:
should I start planning business strategies for 2024? I think this is a great question. I mean, we're in December. It's not even December 1st anymore. It's December 6th. And before you know it, it'll be the 15th. And then before January 1st. Yeah, exactly. So I think now is the best time to start planning, to be honest. Most of our mentors have already told us that the best time to prepare for the new year is really and truly 6 months before, right? So a lot of people have been planning since the summer, what they're going to do for next year. Then you have some people who start around October-ish, right? Kind of the fourth quarter side of things. And then you have the vast majority of people who are thinking about what to do in 2024 right about now and possibly on December 31st. And so I want to just say that you're not alone if that's you. I'm not shaming anyone here. I'm just kind of normalizing that fact. And for anyone who wants to, I think continue to progress and grow and stretch, I think the stretch is to starting to make those plans for what you're going to do next year. Start to make those plans earlier, like in December, and then slowly but surely you can push it to November and October and those types of things. So I definitely think you should start to plan is my final answer.
That's a good way of looking at it. I would say, and just specific to, I would say the audience in terms of just entrepreneurs, I would say a lot of it maybe depends on the business you're in. I remember when we were primarily marketing travel, this time was a really slow time for us. So it actually made a lot of sense for us to, I know one of our corporate trainings was in January. So for us, a lot of this period, I honestly want to say we were having a lot more, we would have come off Friendsgiving. So this time would have been just a real big time for us to just really start to download, maybe travel a little bit, take advantage of the product, things like that. And like I said, gear up for January. We had our major training, I think at the end of that month, middle of that month, depending on, whatever the scheduling worked. And then from there, it was either slingshot, most of the events momentum, things like that. So I say that all to say, I would honestly say it depends on the industry you're in. I know there are a lot of industries where this time is huge. Black Friday is big for a lot of companies as a whole, but there's certain companies that do really well around that time. And so I think Christmas is a time, or the holidays of December and such, are a great time for some businesses to really lock in, maybe finish off their quarter four numbers, things like that. And so it depends on what industry you're in. But I honestly kind of always also want to say, I think you always want to be looking forward. And this is being the last month, you really have no option but to start kind of planning for 2024. I think if there's anything, and maybe I'm just experiencing this, I feel like this year went by incredibly fast. July came and it's like, I don't remember, you know what I mean? And so I have this sense like things feels like they're kind of speeding up. And before I realize it, I'm a March baby. It'll be my birthday already. You know what I mean? And so that's like 3 or 4 months from now. In my mind, it's like, you got to kind of plan ahead. And so, yeah, I would say you should start planning, or at least considering, hey, how does this year look? How did the business do? How are we doing? Like I said, if you're the kind of company you're in this month and this is really your month to, blow the numbers up, take as many sales, all that kind of stuff, then maybe you're focused on that. But if you're not and you're kind of shut down for the year, you have no excuse but to kind of start to not only plan, but maybe implement certain things, start marketing, start talking to new people about marketing your products differently. You know what I mean? Things like that based on how your year went. Because like I said, like for us, again, we would be able to enroll people, but a big part, and you remember this, Jay, they were like Christmas for us, or, December for us was like the slowest enrollment periods for our people. It also was a slow point in travel because a lot of people, their money now goes to gifts as opposed to travel. There's a whole thing with that. So I'll just say you definitely should start planning for strategy for 2020.
I would say like I love how you talked about like what industry it is, because that reminded me of the January and like the tax return stuff that starts coming in, right? So like
there you go.
Yeah, many people, one, it's New Year's resolutions. So whatever their resolution is, right? Whether it's to get fit, get healthy, whether it's to I want to travel more. There's this like, bucket list destination I've never been to, like gonna do it with my income tax
things
check.
Come up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
there you go. Oh, that's a big one right there.
Yeah. So whatever the industry is, I mean, like insert your thing here, but I feel like now is a great time to think about how you want to market to those pain points or those like desires people have now. Like you can start planning that out now. So that way,
absolutely.
When January comes, February, March is probably when the vast majority of income tax check returns come, is probably around that time, but they start as early as January. Like I know people who are like banking on it come January. So
they plan out, they're mapping out the first maybe half of the year on this money in many instances.
Yeah. No, it's
you know
real.
What I mean? This is that's a very real thing for people.
So I love that you brought that up, because then you can take what we're saying and make it practical. And it's like, what's going to happen with the people who what you have, what's happening for them in January, what's happening for them in February. And that's what you can start thinking about now and planning for now. So that way you can, when they're looking for whatever the thing is that you have that they want, you can make sure that you're available.
You can start to have the conversation around it. Yeah.
So I love that. All right. Well, we are not the only ones who have some ideas and some thoughts about this.
Be good.
I mean, if you saw the thumbnail, you might have recognized a face. I mean, most entrepreneurs out there know about Gary V. Gary Vaynerchuk, who is a serial entrepreneur. You probably already know his story, so I'm not going to get into his story so much, but just the fact that now he's gotten so good at what he's done, he now helps build up other businesses, and he vlogs about it. He vlogs about it all the time. And so we thought it'd be really interesting to watch together. Winston and I have not seen this in its entirety either, but he does a vlog about how to win in business in 2024. And we thought, who better to hear from than Gary V on Spotify? So here we go.
All right, let's jump into it.
You can't win if you don't like it, because somebody else likes it and they're going to outwork you. I day trade attention and build businesses. Legacy is greater than currency.
I know it's your first New York Comic-Con in this capacity. Super exciting for the company. How you feeling right off the bat?
Just complete chaos, which excites me to no end. All the energy is always going to excite me. I'm an energy person, and so the fact that so many people are going to walk in and stumble into Be Friends and be like, what's Be Friends? What's Be Friends? What's Be Friends? That excites me. I think what you're going to see from Be Friends over the next 6 to 12 months is more affirmation to the fact that this is a brand that has the ambitions to be at the highest levels. For scissors, shoot. Eat it, kid!
I met you at a garage sale last month.
Yes!
If you remember.
Yes.
I'm actually here so I can buy another V-Friend.
No kidding. You garage sale?
Yeah.
My man.
Because of you. I told you I was there to buy another V-Friend. I got a Series 1 gift code and a Series 2 gift code since then. So I just want to say thank you.
Can't believe I met you, man. I'm getting starstruck here. Yeah. Relocating in a couple of weeks with no job, man. I'm kind of like
doing
it right now. Yeah, definitely. But any advice?
Don't be scared. Be patient. Like, it's okay to live in the dirt to find happiness. You're young. You got time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like people jump into shit too early because they're stressed.
Right.
You got time. That's the answer.
Appreciate that. Thank you so
nice
much.
to meet you. Dustin, both clips of rock, paper, scissors, going to put together, and then I want the whole thing to be like, nobody on TikTok can beat me in rock, paper, scissors. Play that out. That'll work.
What do you see in the future for social media?
You know, it's funny. The reason I think I have a good track record in the way you set that up is I don't like predicting. I move fast when there's new stuff. I taste it, I watch it, I analyze it, and then there's a moment where I think it's crossed over intuitively, and that's when I get loud. I look at all technology that way. And on the flight out here, we were working on a new book, ironically, about where social media is right now, and I didn't realize I was on YouTube so early. YouTube came out on December 15th, 2005. Wine Library TV was February 21st, 2006. So within 2 months of YouTube being out, I had a long form show. And I think from that day to this day, I'm proud that I'm still in the dirt, in the trenches, in the streets. And I think I'll stay that way forever because that's the part that brings me the most joy. All right. Let's get into it. You know, maybe I had it right with my first book. My first book, subtitle of Crush It, was Cashing In on Your Passion. Maybe what was clear to me in my early 30s has become, again, very clear to me as I get closer to 50. I don't know how you can work hard enough to beat your competition if you don't like the thing you're doing. You can't win if you don't like it because somebody else likes it and they're gonna outwork you. It's not sustainable. Unless you love the fucking process, it's too hard to be an entrepreneur. I know it got cool. I'm a direct beneficiary of it becoming cool. But if I could wish anything for everybody in this room as I look corner to corner, besides health, I would wish you self-awareness. There's a lot of people sitting in here wanting or are delusional that they're a great entrepreneur, and what they really are is a great number 2 and a great number 3. The number 4 at Facebook and Tesla made a lot more money than 99.9% of the number 1s that started companies. Everybody's so focused on what they wish they could be that they're not paying attention to who they are. Seriously.
I found out today a school teacher that teaches entrepreneurship and finance to a group of kids paid probably about 50 high schoolers that he teaches to come to this event.
It's amazing.
But where's that group of high schoolers? One piece of advice, if you gave one piece of advice around high school, what would you tell the high schoolers there?
They literally are sitting there thinking they're getting close to having to have their shit figured out. Kids, I got a big one for you. You know how your parents and teachers are telling you, like, you gotta get fucking focused, you gotta figure out your shit? You're not gonna believe this, it's really fucking funny. None of them have their shit figured out.
All right, let's begin. You guys can get a round of applause.
Thank you, San Diego. Thank you. The Keynote Koala. This token allows you to go to any keynote that I'm doing publicly in the world. You'll have ridiculously good seating and a minimum of a 10-minute green room session with me before I take the stage. Jam with Route on this all-in challenge. I'm giving away a workout with me and Mike Vacanti. You're gonna be a guest of my podcast, and I'm gonna fly you, all paid, +1, to 3 of my keynotes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the Money Mondays podcast. On the Money Mondays, we talk about 3 core topics: how to make money, how to invest money, and how to give it away to charity. There is no better person to ask these type of questions to than the one, the only, Mr. Gary Vee.
My guys. I hate when people invest in shit they don't understand because someone smart told them. You know, what I will say for sure, and this is what my number one belief is that it's the cross section of something you like and something you understand.
I'm pretty much stuck in between. I'm working for a company and painting.
So are you trying to do the art full time?
Competition just gets me nervous.
What the fuck do they have? Competition's fake. There's nobody beating you. There's nobody taking your paper. That's just your insecurity. V-Friends, this thing I'm trying to build, this whole Comic-Con is competition, and they're all further ahead than I am. None of them are stopping me from building V-Friends.
I don't know what's going on in my video today. Guys, that was amazing.
That was actually really, really cool. One, because we already knew it was a vlog, right? Like that was really interesting to like see what he does, and like flew to California to take the red eye back, right, for day 2 of Comic-Con. But I love,
yeah, that's amazing lifestyle.
I mean, right? But I just want to say that like one of the things that I thought was really important for me, the takeaway is one, like, what am I really passionate about? And like, run with that. If there is something that I am doing that I'm not passionate about, I'm now immediately thinking I need to let that go for 2024. And 2, nobody's got their shit together. So I'm fine.
Yeah, how big was that?
Right into 42, not together.
Yeah. Guys, for anybody who, if this is your first time seeing Gary Vee, or if you're familiar, let us know in the comments below. One of the things I'll comment to some of what you brought up, Janelle. But one of the things I really love about him is he's a very down-to-earth guy. If you ever follow a lot of his content, he's very, very down-to-earth. He's very open, or, we could use the term vulnerable, but I think he's very open with his, what he would call failings, or maybe what we would consider failings, things like that, areas he's not good. He's always very open. Like the thing he mentioned, and I've never articulated it like he was able to, about people not wanting to be the number 3 or 4 or 5 in an organization, not realizing that person, depending on how the success of the organization, and it was so funny because it made me think of network marketing in a sense of it's such a cool platform that allows you to edify and support other people who could be better at something than you are. Like I remember one of the things, like even just within our team, is the dynamics Janelle was able to bring as a leader that I know I don't excel at. And instead of spending time going, oh, I gotta be like Janelle, it's like, no, you have a Janelle. You know what I mean? So I really love that he's great at, or what he said about, if you could be humble and recognize, hey, I don't need to be the point person, or you know what I mean, I don't need to be the head of the, whatever this is. I can get underneath or get behind another idea and do what I do well and help them succeed in ways. And I think that's huge, because a lot of people as entrepreneurs, you want to be the one to sign your name or have your name out front,
right?
You know what I mean? And that could be the thing, but it's not. The goal is freedom. And you could be under someone else. You could be working, building something else that, to his point, you really enjoy, and be very free. It doesn't need to have your name. I recognize that's my personality. And I remember even with our team, one of the big, I was like, oh yeah, let that person do the thing. You know what I mean? Let me get the money. Let me get the money, and some of this stuff. So that really stood out to me. And so, what you mentioned as well, Janelle, was definitely a highlight as well. He's a really cool guy, man.
So I think for many people, they do think that they need to be the one, right? Because I think it's like you have a solution to a problem, right? Like for most entrepreneurs, I love, to your point, I love that he said sometimes it's number 2, number 3, number 4 person. because I recently felt that way too. Like if I find someone who has an amazing idea, I want to support that. Like what can I do to help that amazing thing? And I don't know if we have time. I found it, but it's there's the how to start a movement. It's a 2-minute video. Do you think we have a moment to share it with people? Because I feel like it really emphasizes the role of number 2 and number 3 and how they're just as important, if not more so, than the number 1.
Is Wayne in this video?
It's not. Wayne got the idea from this video.
Oh, okay. Do your thing.
Okay. Let's see. All right. I'm going to go ahead and press play. Can you pull it up?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
A lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you
I remember that. Did I lose you, Jay? Oh, I think she's still actually doing it. So guys, throw it in the comments. Let us know what your thoughts were on what's mesmerized on the rest of the video. What are your closing thoughts, Jay?
Sorry, did you move over?
What is going on?
Oh, wait, did you? I heard you talking.
What is happening today?
I don't know, but there's like 30 seconds left. I wasn't sure if you had stopped it or not. Did you stop it? And I missed.
Yeah, no, the video. Yeah, you did.
Okay, so at the very end, he was like, the point of this whole thing is, if you miss it, is that it's not the lone nut that's the most important. It's the first follower, because without them, then you wouldn't have the movement to begin with. So I love that video. I think it's a perfect illustration of what Gary Vee was saying. And I think it's okay for us to note to identify when we're that person. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Yeah, it's a good space to be in. I love that as well. We'll actually make sure we tag this video and the Gary Vee, the one Janelle just shared, and the Gary Vee video at the end of this one for anyone who wants to go check those out. So
awesome. Well, this has been great. Thank you all for joining us today. We will be back on Monday for the Monday rundowns. You know how much we love those, as well as back next Wednesday as well.
And until we see you guys, as always, remember, you deserve the good life. Say that.
Say that.
We'll see you guys.